What's going on, guys? Today we're talking about handguns at SHOT Show 2025. SHOT Show 25 I thought was a great year, a great show overall. I saw a lot of different handguns. Obviously I didn't get a chance to cover them all, but I think I got maybe a dozen plus that we will be talking about, at least a dozen. Yeah, probably actually a dozen and a half that we're going to be kind of going through. So we're going to kind of go through the highlights of it. This is not meant to be a deep dive on any particular one. This is just handgun SHOT Show coverage. But if you like the flow, the content, whatever, hit subscribe. We also have a playlist because I'll have 5 total SHOT Show 25 videos of the different segments: handguns, long guns, optics, aiming stuff, accessories, and suppressors. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you stay tuned and check out the playlist, and we'll get right to it. So let's talk about handguns at SHOT Show 2025. I know this might seem a little basic, but yes, I am starting the handgun with the Staccato HD. If I had to pick what the buzz of the show was, it was probably this. There was a lot of people always around the booth, and there was a lot of people talking about it. I knew about it a little bit ahead of schedule, but obviously we couldn't talk about things. But the Staccato HD is a new line of 2011s. And obviously what's really cool about it is it takes Glock magazines. Now, the ergonomics, everything is really good. The extended slide stop feels really good. And it's also ambi, which means it's on the right and left side. So left-handed shooters are going to rejoice over that. It's the first 2011 from Staccato that has ambi controls, which is great. As far as the slide stop, it is nice and swept back, so it's easy to manipulate. The safeties are great. It does not have a grip safety, but it does have a Series 80 firing pin safety, so it is drop safe. And that trigger still felt really good. A lot of times with the Series 80 triggers, sometimes they don't feel as nice. Ergonomics, it is a 2011, 1911 grip angle. However, the beaver tail on the back is a little bit wider. Some people are saying that, you know, they didn't like the feel compared to the traditional ones, but we'll see. Now, as far as the magwell goes, they are coming out with a magwell for the full-size grips. It does come in a 4-inch version and a 4.5 with basically a sight block. It's not compensated or anything like that. But ergonomically, everything else, the guns felt really good in the hand. I really like how they felt, and more importantly, I like how they shot. I was fortunate enough to be able to get to shoot both the 4-inch as well as the 4.5, and I found the recoil impulse very pleasant. They were reliable, tracking was nice, even shooting doubles with the 4-inch, and it functioned just fine. I shot the 4.5-inch model next, and that's the one I like. I thought the recoil impulse was a little bit more pleasant. It tracked really nice, it felt good. That is the gun I want. I want to order one, and ultimately that's going to be the one I'm getting. So the Staccato HD was a popular gun. All right, speaking of 1911s and 2011s, Miller Precision is a name that has been gaining a lot of popularity, mainly because they are making this aftermarket metal grip for popular 2011, 1911 double stack pistols. It's a little slimmer than standard. They're OEMing for Vulcan, and this grip felt really good in the hand. This is my first time kind of getting my hand on it, but how they're machining everything kind of coming together, and they're using a reversible mag catch that uses similar to like a piano spring type wear like the Glock, but the texture felt really good in the hand. The grips felt really good overall. The blending, the lines, the undercut. These are popular grips, and I can see why. What's also really cool is because it has a reversible mag catch. The mag catch basically disassembles like a Glock style mag catch with that piano spring type spring wire. Now the other texture that they had is kind of more of a dimple style, but this also felt really good in the hand. Additionally, the radius of their trigger is a nice hybrid radius. It's not the traditional curved, it's a little bit more flattened, and there's a few manufacturers that are doing something similar, but it felt really good in the hand. And there's another kind of close-up shot that you can see of how that mag catch works with the Miller Precision grip. However, that is not the highlight of the booth. The highlight of the booth was this bad boy right here. This is the Ranger 9XC, and I'm here to tell you guys, this is a high-end gun. They're going to retail for over $4, but it is a compensated gun with an island barrel. However, it attaches with a self-timing thread system. I'll show you that here in just a second. But these guns are machined by them in-house. It is a linkless system. So yes, it's a 1911 style gun, but it's not 1911 in the traditional sense. It uses their awesome grip that we just talked about. The gun felt really nice. Like the slide to frame fit was good. The fit and finish was good. The lines were good. The aesthetic. Everything about this gun screams that this is more of a refined product, not their first full-time at-bat gun, which this is their first handgun. Like I said, they've been machining for other people in the company or in the industry in their company, but this gun looked really good. The serrations are nice, easy to manipulate. They felt good in the hand. It is an ambi slide stop, so left-handed shooters will love the fact that there are controls on the right side of the gun. But all in all, this gun really felt good. I really want to get one to the range. Now let's take a closer look at that barrel and comp system. So this is Houston Miller, the founder of Miller Precision, and he's going to demonstrate taking it down for us. Basically, it disassembles similar to a regular 1911, 2011 double stack pistol. You remove the slide stop, and then you will remove the slide from the frame. And that's when we get a first glance of actually what is going on under the hood here. All right, so look at that guide rod and spring. It is similar to what we might see in other pistols. No need for tools, which is great. But then you look at that barrel. Look, dudes, no link. It is a linkless system. You basically unscrew the comp and island front sight block, if you will, and it's self-timing and self-centering. So as you put it back on, it's automatically going to self-time and center to the right spot. They told me a little bit about some of the manufacturing and alignment process, which is great. But when you thread that off, then that is going to allow that comp and front sight block to be removed, and then the barrel can be removed out of the slide, similar to a traditional pistol. So really kind of some interesting things going on. Doesn't come out the front like a 1911, but how the gun locks up, because sometimes with the barrels and things like that of a traditional gun, this is actually locking up. It's not a Browning design. They're saying it's kind of a modified design, and it doesn't have lugs like a 1911 barrel. But there's a close-up of the front sight block and comp. You can see the refined machining, and it does use a Glock style front sight. So that hole at the bottom of it, so as you can find readily available Glock style front sights, and they attach very easily there. So no need to worry about dovetails or anything like that. Taking a close look at the barrel, you can see the linkless system, and again, it is 1911 inspired. However, it also doesn't have a link. So again, how they're locking the barrel into the slide, the machine tolerances of how fit and finish are. He was kind of telling me a little bit about where it locks up and the surface areas. I think they're onto something. Obviously, this isn't the first linkless 1911 style gun with the Dan Wesson DWX, but this thing felt really good in the hand, and how everything kind of came together and locked up was really cool to see. Now, once we also take a closer look at the slide, you can see that it does have an external extractor. The extractor is secured with a threaded pin that is secured from the top of the slide underneath the optic plate. So there's no worry about that pin coming loose. Now, the only downside is if you did need to service the extractor, you would need to take your optic and optic plate off. But honestly, if we have to service an extractor, it's probably going to be something that goes back to the shop anyway, so no big deal, and I liked how everything was secure. The disconnector or stripper rail has a nice radius to it, or a ramp to it, I should say, so it definitely compresses that disconnector in a nice smooth fashion, and that just made for a nicer feeling gun when you're cycling the action. Now, again, once they're ready to reassemble, basically all you do is you install your barrel into the slide, you have it protrude out the front, and then you take that island comp, front sight block comp, whatever you want to call it, and it's going to thread in. The footage does look a little bit slow. I'm trying to stabilize it so it's a little bit easier for you guys to watch. But basically what happens when he tightens it up, it is going to stop. It is self-timing, self-centering. So once it is in position, it's not going to over-torque, it's not going to over-tighten, and it's not going to get in the wrong spot. It's basically just going to go in the right spot, so it's going to be over-tightened just a little bit. That's where the shoulder stop is. You back it off, and it's going to align and self-center. So that was pretty cool, and they're saying it stays exactly where it needs to be with the frame as well. So the other cool part about the frame is the slide rails, or frame to slide rails, are increased over a standard 1911, 2011 style gun. So you're actually getting more engagement with the slide to frame fit, which is part of what made this gun feel really nice in the hand versus some of the other hybrids that have done something similar that actually have less rails. So everything about this gun screamed high-end, overthought, high engineering, high quality, high level of machining. I know I'm sounding probably like a little bit of a cheerleader for this gun, but it just felt really good in the hand, and this was a really particular gun that I was excited to get my hands on, and this was up at the SHOT Show Extra, so it was only there for a couple of days, and I made sure to make it a priority to get up there. This would not be a SHOT Show handgun video if I didn't talk about the amazing pistols from Bolt Armory. Dudes, I reviewed that TAC Pro, and I gotta say, that gun really impressed me. New for this year is this new stainless finish that a lot of the guns are coming in. It almost looks like a hard chrome. But this gun was the other buzz of the show. This is the TAC Comp. And like I told you guys when I shot this at GunCon, the thing is like recoil delete. It is compensated, it is ported, it feels absolutely amazing to shoot. It is probably one of the smoothest, if not the smoothest shooting guns I have shot. I mean that. It's crazy how good of a recoil this thing is. Here is a closer look at that barrel. You can see that large integral comp. Now this is machined out of one piece. Now the cool thing with that is that they're able to get a larger comp because it's all machined together versus some of the other ones that are threaded or pressed on. So because of that, they're actually able to open up that comp very large, so it's very effective, as they don't have to worry about digging into threads or anything like that. Now, another update to this gun is it's going to ship with their new safety, which is now machined. It's CNC. Some of their other safeties were actually MIM, and they still felt pretty good. It's also going to ship with 4 magazines, which is great. The magazines do fit flush with the grip, but they hold 20 rounds, so who doesn't love that? And there is extended versions available. It's going to come with optic plates. MSRP on this bad boy is going to be $28.50, and they're hoping it's going to be available Q4 of 2025. All of the guns from Bull Armory looked great, and like I said, they have that new stainless finish that really looked like a classic hard chrome. Now, it wouldn't be complete if we didn't talk about their striker-fired guns as well. They're taking all of their guns from the Axe, the Tomahawk, and they're all kind of putting it into one lineup with that striker-fired gun. And the cool thing is that they are optic ready. The triggers feel really good in the hand. They break really nice, and the ergonomics are really nice. All of their frames have more of a 1911 style grip angle. Now, they do have pro models, which means they are also available ported, as we just saw as well. So these guns shoot super flat. Now, these guns are being used all around the world, and they are proven to be very reliable. Another gun that they had was the EDC Compact, and what's cool about this is that it has a compact grip. So basically it takes similar to that 120 grip length, except for their magazines actually hold more, which is really cool. But it has a full length, or a commander length slide in this case, a 4.25. So if you're looking for something with a longer slide so it's easier to control, they also have it in a pro model, which means it's available ported, but it has that more compact grip so you can conceal a little bit better. Now what's great is that it comes with the magwell. However, it also ships with the pin, so if you wanted to take the magwell off and just have the grip, so it's a little bit more of a slimmer profile, you can certainly do that as well. All of these guns, of course, are optic ready. They come with plates to adapt it to the popular platforms, and their optic plate system is really robust. That was one of the things I really admired in my TAC Pro review, of how simple and robust their optic plate system is. So if you're looking for like a carry gun, something lightweight that still has capacity, plus you can use their full-size magazines, so you can have extended magazines that would obviously protrude out. Really cool little gun. That's the EDC Compact from Bull Armory. This is the Mac 9 DS Comp. The Military Arms Corporation Mac 9 double stack, and obviously comp stands for compensated. This is a full-size gun. It is optics ready, polymer grip, front serrations, but look at that compensator. That is kind of a different take than what we are seeing. A lot of the ones are using like an island type barrel, or a front sight block, I should say. This one is actually using a port that is cut through the slide, and then that same port kind of goes through into the barrel, creating a single port compensator on the front. Fit and finish overall, the guns was pretty solid. These are going to be more of an entry-level gun in around, well, under a G street price is what I'm being told, which is pretty cool. Let's take a closer look at that barrel and comp, kind of see what's going on. You can see that it is a single port comp, like I said earlier. The single port of the comp is cut into the barrel as well, so we'll take a closer look here of what that looks like, but basically you'll see that barrel with a single port on it. Now, the crown of the barrel does appear to be recessed, so it's not just like they took a barrel and cut a port in it. It actually is designed to be a ported compensator, so you can see that it does have kind of some flats out there in that comp chamber. They say it shoots pretty good. I am interested to see how it compares to some of the other guns on the market, but obviously the main attractive point here is the price. Under $1,000 for a double stack ported gun. Trigger felt pretty solid. It is a polymer grip with an extended mag release, and it also has an extended slide stop with ambi safeties on both sides. So manipulating the gun was pretty good, and that extended slide stop was pretty comfortable and easy to manipulate as well. Fit and finish of the gun, again, for an entry-level production gun, it felt really solid. I actually kind of want to get one to the range and shoot it and kind of see how it compares. Can this thing hold up for a few thousand rounds? Can I take it to a class? Can I let other people shoot it? So we will definitely see. All right, guys, the other gun that I was really excited to finally get hands on, and this was released last year, I believe it was like a November or December release, is the Kimber 2K11. And I gotta say, these guns felt way better in the hand than I expected. They are available in 9mm, but wait, Also 45. Yes, 45. So if you wanted to get a double stack in 45, now you can. But as far as slide to frame fit, barrel fit, everything about these guns feels really nice, especially for the price point. They're going to be under 25, and a target model, which is what is shown here, has kind of this really cool copper, kind of burnt custom color that really makes it look nothing like a Kimber. Like, let's be honest, I did not expect a Kimber to look like this. The slide serrations, the styling of it, the angles, I think it overall really looks good, and it fits really nice in the hand with that metal grip. They worked with Stan Chen on the magwell and grip for the ergonomics, so that's really cool. He's a very well-respected maker. This is the Optics ready model, and it is more black. However, it still has kind of those copper or kind of burnt bronze accents, and it doesn't have the lightning cuts in the slide, but it still has the same serrations, but it still feels really good. These are all going to be Optics ready. The triggers are pretty nice on all of them. The target model, the trigger is nicer, but they also have an Optics ready package that also comes with a Trijicon SRO in the box. So now you're getting an Optics ready gun under 3K. They're starting to become available right now. I did receive my sample of my target model, so I just got it in while I was actually at SHOT. I can't wait to get some more rounds on it through the range, because I gotta say, like, I did not expect these guns to really have a lot of the features that they do. The target model also has a Marvel cut on the stripper rail, so it just cycles really nice on how it compresses the disconnector. Dudes, these guns, I think, are going to be very popular for Kimber. If you're a Kimber fan, easy. If you're a little skeptical about Kimber because of their past, I think they are making huge strides to make better guns, and their quality control, their quality of products, their innovation. I think this is a really good representation of what they are trying to strive to be, and I think the future is going to be pretty cool. So stay tuned for more content on the Kimber 2K11. All right, dudes, another 1911 double stack is the Romulus from Alpha Foxtrot. This is a new line of pistols for them. They do a lot of work in the industry, so seeing them come out with this gun didn't really surprise me. What's cool about it is it's going to be available for about that $1,500 price point, and they're going to have models with 4 1/4, 5-inch, or the compensated as shown here. Now, this is a block style compensator. I believe it is attached to the barrel via threading or pressing. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't get into those details, but it has a DLC finish that you can see kind of has a sheen or shine to it. It's polished. They're also going to be available in a matte or unpolished version as well. Optics ready. The ones that are shown here have an RMSC footprint. They are also going to have a different slide in the future that might take plates. I don't know the exact details. It does have a polymer grip, magwell that comes with it, flat face trigger, and it does have ambi safeties as well. Now, the slide stop is also extended, so that felt pretty good in the hands. The ergonomics overall of the gun felt pretty solid. Again, this is going to be a gun for about that $1,500 price point, so I'd be really interested to kind of take it down and see what the parts look like under the hood. But they're doing a lot of the major components. Actually, I believe they said they're doing all of the machining in-house except for some minor things like springs and stuff like that, which is pretty common. But there you can kind of get a closer shot of that extended slide stop. I can actually reach it with my primary thumb, and another kind of shot of how the slide is cut with the serrations, the tri-top, etc. So from the factory to have all of that right in it, I think this is going to be pretty popular. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I thought last year was the year of the double stack. This year appears to be a continuation of that, but I think more options for you guys is always a good thing. So this Romulus is available now. They actually did show some interest in having me check one out, so I'm hopefully going to be able to get one to the range and kind of see how long-term it holds up, what the shooting impulse is like, how does it compare to some of the others in the competition. Here you can check out the version with the optic plate. This is for an RMR footprint, so you can kind of get an idea of the different options that are going to be coming as well for optics. So I think this is going to be a cool line to check out. This is the Romulus line from Alpha Foxtrot. And of course, not to be left out is Palmetto State Armory with a concept gun. This is the Sabre 11. What they do is they come out with these concept guns and they get people to vote on them to see if they're going to take them into production. But this is their version of a double stack. It does have some very utilitarian front and rear serrations that actually overall look good. It has an MJD polymer grip, flat face trigger, external extractor, bull barrel, optics ready. They are saying that this is going to be a quality gun that will compete with pretty much anything on the market. They don't have pricing, they don't have availability, they don't really have a whole lot other than it's a concept gun and they're trying to create some buzz. And I'm not surprised. They make a lot of stuff, and to see them being left out of the double stack market doesn't surprise me. I think this is probably going to happen. This is Warwick Tactical. Warwick Tactical. There you go. That's kind of a mouthful. This is a company that is by far not a household name, but I guarantee you if you're into 1911s and 2011s, you have held some of their stuff. And that's because they OEM for a lot of people in the industry. Well, now they're going beyond OEMing, and they did have some guns out last year, but they wanted me to stop by, check out their complete guns that they'll be offering. They are going to be coming out with their own complete pistols, and they do all the major manufacturing themselves. Like I said, they do a lot of OEM and white label work for other people, so they're like, why not come out with a gun ourselves? These are going to be higher end guns, like several thou, but they fit really nice. The fit, the finish, the overall kind of function of it, it felt like a high-end custom gun or a semi-custom gun because that's the kind of level that they OEM for in the space. They have different grips, the textures were nice, the serrations were nice, the lockup. Everything about the gun looks like a really high-end gun, but they just need to get their name out there a little bit more and kind of have more time on the range to kind of get to know these guns. But the texture on this particular one was more of an aggressive texture, and it locked up and felt really nice in the hand. They also are offering guns with an external extractor, different cuts, so kind of cool to see, and they liked the innovation. They like what's going on with different companies because there's a good chance they may make some of that cool popular stuff, but they encourage people to come in, handle it, check it out, touch their guns. They all feel really good. I'm going to hopefully get one to check out, maybe do some kind of comparison to some of the other higher end guns out there. The other cool thing about them is they have this trigger kit where basically the bow and the shoe are replaceable. So you can easily take off from the front the trigger shoe and you can swap it out for a curved, a straight, whatever it might be. Very easy to do. You don't have to disassemble the gun. You can basically just take a hex key and disassemble this, and you can do this, they're saying, while the gun is assembled, and they have all these other, you know, kits and options that are available. So not just guns and major components, but they're also trying to get into some small parts as well. Warwick Tactical. Hopefully we'll be able to check one out soon. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys heard of them before, or is it kind of a new thing for you? All right, dudes, I don't know how many more double stacks we have, but this is definitely like, it's a theme, right? This is from Nighthawk Custom, and this is the Agency Arms newest version. I believe they're calling it the Agency 2, but you can definitely see it is very on brand with Agency. Like the texturing of the slide matches really nicely to the texturing of the grip. It's all machined in. It looks super nice. The ergonomics are great. Functioning grip safety, how they blend the mainspring housing to the grip. This is kind of designed for the ultra high-end carry market. Like if you're looking for probably the most expensive carry double stack, I think Nighthawk and Agency will have you covered, but very kind of futuristic kind of looking. Definitely shows off all of the machining capabilities of a high-end company like Nighthawk and kind of that styling and branding that we would expect from Agency. Of course, the gun cycled good. The fit and finish was top-notch, as it should be. This gun is going to be really expensive, probably north of like 6,000, but that's what you expect from Nighthawk, right? So if you're looking for that high-end gun, you're a fan of Agency stuff, this is the latest version. So make sure you check that out if you're interested. These are going to be available later this year, I believe. All right, I think we're winding down on double stacks and 1911s, but this is the Springfield Prodigy Compact. Springfield, I gotta say the new Prodigies feel much better than the original one that I had, so that's cool. I think the quality control's gotten a lot better, but this is a compact version. It has optic ready with the AOS system, which is a solid way to mount an optic, which is nice. This one's going to have, I believe it's a 3.5-inch barrel, and it's going to have a shortened grip. It takes 15-round 2011 pattern magazines, which are available from Duramag, Checkmate, etc. So it's a common magazine to find. If you wanted something a little bit more compact to carry, very similar in size to like a Staccato C2, they realized that that's a very popular gun, so they obviously wanted to have a piece of that market. The texture of their grip, that is one thing I actually did like on the original Prodigy as well as this one, is the texture of the grip is nice. It's going to ship with a couple of Duramag 15-round magazines that do fit flush into the grip. And also from Springfield is an update to the operator line. The operator line does have kind of a sweet spot in my heart because those were some awesome 1911s like the TRP operator I had. But now they are optic ready. They're using also the AOS cut. So if you have a favorite operator, whether it be like the MC operator, the TRP, the operator series, whatever, now they're going to be available from the factory optic ready, which is how they're supposed to be. Every gun should be red dot ready. So this was a great addition, nice evolution of the lineup. Cool to see Springfield listening to the market. Dudes, I think we might be done with 1911s. This was another concept gun from PSA, and this is the Wellrod Concept. And it kind of reminded me of like a Ruger Mark III, Mark IV, but souped up to be a 45 caliber pistol. Now, it's not a semi-auto, it's a pull action, meaning that you have to cycle it every time. And it's a, I want to say it was like a 4-inch barrel, and it's designed to be suppressed. So it's designed to be 1911 grip angle, take 1911 magazines, 45 caliber, and it's supposed to be a quiet, suppressed pistol. Now it's obviously going to require a stamp to get the can. I believe they're going to be offering it without the can. It's a concept. We'll see if it actually makes it. We'll see how many people are interested. Top rail for an optic, bottom rail for a light. I don't know, dudes. Is this something you guys would buy? Is this something you're interested in? Or is a Wellrod Concept suppressed 45 pistol not something that is going to be as popular? I don't think it will be, but we'll see what the market says. All right, a new gun to the market is from KRISS, and they are coming out with this. I believe they're calling it the Kymera. And Kymera has some sort of Greek or mythological name, meaning like of many options or of many sorts, things like that. Ergonomically, the gun didn't feel bad. It kind of has a higher or thinner slide, similar to like what we would see from a CZ. But the really cool thing about it is very, very modular. You can get different back straps, you can get side panels, you can get different grip frames, you can get different triggers. Like, the options are, I don't want to say endless. They did tell me like there was some super high number, like if they did all of the different combinations. But basically what you do is you disassemble the gun and you can kind of configure it exactly how you would want. Or maybe you buy it and you want to change the configuration so you can get all of these different parts. And it comes apart with basically just a pin and a punch, and then you can really kind of do your own thing to customize it. So I don't know if the market really needs that. I mean, although like obviously people like to configure their ARs and stuff, so maybe there is some market with this, but I think in the price point these were going to be in like the mid 1500 range, something like that, or maybe somewhere between 1G and 1500. I didn't get exact pricing or availability. I don't know if maybe who I was speaking to didn't have it. I can't recall the exact details, but interesting concept. I'm really curious to see what people think about it as far as, does the market really want a modular gun with all of these different options? Or are you kind of settled on an existing platform and you just kind of want to see what's out there? But definitely interesting, definitely modular, no doubt customizable and swappable to exactly the configuration. So let me know on this one in the comment section below if this is something that you are interested in. CZ fans, they have a new CZ Target 2 available now in 6 inches. Not going to be optic ready. This is designed for the limited, the bullseye shooter, the person who needs those iron sights, but they wanted a long slide gun, long barrel gun. The rep told me that it actually shoots pretty soft and has a nice recoil impulse, but it's clearly designed for the bullseye shooter. But it felt good in the hand. I mean, if you're looking for an iron sight gun, that might be pretty cool. I do like CZ ergonomics. Their triggers are good, and the longer sight radius obviously would be helpful for the bullseye shooters. I'm just really curious to see like what demand is. This could also be more of a global European thing, because right now definitely the market in the United States is everything optic, all sorts of comped and everything else, and this clearly isn't that. That being said, there's still something kind of cool about it. I had a 6-inch 2011 back in the day, and I did love that gun, so it kind of reminded me of that in a way, but it did look really nice. Obviously, it's a CZ. I think this is going to be more popular across the globe. I don't have pricing. I don't have availability. They told me later this year, but brand new from CZ. Glock didn't really have anything new as far as pistols per se, but they did have a new optic cut. They have a collaboration with Aimpoint. It's called the KOA. It's an enclosed emitter optic, and it's very similar to the P2, except for it attaches to the slide a little bit differently. It kind of uses some tapers. Now, the optic was designed to attach just as good to a slimline optic like the 43X, the 48, or they're traditional with slides like the 17, the 45, the 19s, whatever. So this is going to be a collaboration. Right now, the KOAs are only available in these packages from Glock, but Glock is going to try to make a package available in pretty much all of the popular configurations from 19, 17, 45, 47, 43X, 48, and it's just a nice complete package. Obviously, I've heard that they are marketing this towards agencies that just want a one-stop shop, so they don't have to go to a different company for a plate, a different company for an optic, different company for a gun. They can, in essence, just buy from one place. You can kind of see here how the optic compares. On the right is a 43X, I believe, and on the left was a G19. So the optic is the same size, but you can kind of see how it marks or mounts on both, and it kind of fits. So it's designed to go on either gun, and basically, maybe you want two sisters. You want a big sister and a little sister, but with the same optic, you can easily do so. You can see that it's a little bit wider than the slim frames. So there is, I believe there was an adapter plate on that one, but how it secures is there's basically a wedge on the rear sight. So the rear sight has two top screws, and then it has an angled wedge, or almost like half of a dovetail, and then that locks into the sight, securing the optic into the slide. The front edge is also a dovetail in a way, so everything kind of wedges and locks together. And then the spine of the cut also has tapers, so you have wedging surfaces preventing rotation, fore and aft movement. It actually seems like a really good way to mount an optic. The only thing I'm bummed out about is it's proprietary, and as of right now, it does not seem that there's going to be other options available in either other guns, other makers, platforms, whatever. And I wish the industry would just come across with like a universal standard so we can all get cool optics on cool guns. That's the Aimpoint Koa collaboration with Glock. All right, subcompact dudes, this is the new CC9 9mm subcontact pistol from H&K. It kind of reminds you of what you would expect from like a VP9 shrunken down to that concealed carry market. And I gotta say, it actually felt really good in the hands. If I was an HK fan, I would totally carry this. It's optic ready. I believe it's a 15-round magazine, 3.5 or 3.3 inch barrel. The rep actually didn't know some of the specifics, but very slim. All of the controls are nice and blended well into the frame. RMSC footprint, so it's optic ready, but very clearly designed for that concealed carry market. And I gotta say, overall, the gun felt really good. No sharp edges, nothing to snag on. It really kind of feels like it was purposely designed for that. Trigger, like I said, was nice. HKs have always had really nice triggers, so to expect anything less from this gun, I guess I wasn't surprised it had a nice trigger, but this is a pretty cool subcompact gun. I think this would carry very easily appendix, inside the waistband, comfort, ergonomics, everything that we like from HK, now in a smaller package. Available this year. All right, speaking of polymer striker guns, Matador Arms has a prototype gun. It's basically a Gen 3 19 clone, except for it kind of has a weird backstrap kind of thing that they say is actually more ergonomically comfortable. It wasn't uncomfortable in the hand, but it was definitely different. But Gen 3 clone, they don't have a name for it. They don't have pricing. It's a very early prototype. I'm really curious to see how many more companies are going to come out with clones. Obviously, we also had the Ruger RXM that came out recently. So interesting to kind of see what's coming with that market. All right, I think this one might be last, but certainly not least, is a new prototype guns from Fightlight. This is the Hypnos, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but it's basically replacement uppers for Ruger Mark IV frames. They're gonna have some that are integrally suppressed as well as traditional. They don't have pricing or availability. This is a very new prototype. However, they are having models with either a side folding stock and or chassis. I believe they're gonna have both models available in the future, but if you're kind of looking for a new rimfire gun, this is going to be what they are offering. I thought the lines were kind of futuristic looking. We didn't really get a chance to play with them too much because they're a prototype. They didn't have pricing availability. I'm curious to see what the market will compare this, and depending on pricing, I think could really kind of make or break this product. The integrally suppressed part is really cool, and that's something that we haven't seen from Ruger or some of the other companies. So I think that's going to be the one to kind of keep your eye on, is that integrally suppressed. It's a one stamp type thing. But with other great options available from either Ruger Direct or like Volquartsen, I'm curious how the non-suppressed ones will be received. Yeah, the brace kind of model, stock is pretty cool, how it mounts to the top there. But are dudes really wanting this? Like, if you have a Ruger semi-auto pistol, are you really going to want to mount something like that to it? Because now I have to register it as a two-stamp gun, one for the suppressor, one for the SBR. That's kind of what I'm wondering. I'm interested to see what the demand is. They had an integral rear sight on that, and they're going to have a matching front sight that will go with that to kind of make it a complete package. Most people are probably going to put optics on it as well. Dudes, feel free to comment. If I missed something, if you are liking something, if you want me to do more detailed, deep dives, reviews, whatever, leave a comment below. Better yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned for future content, or shoot me an email. But I want to hear from you guys. I love making the content that you guys want to see. So if there's something that I missed or something that you really liked or were impressed with at SHOT, whatever it might be, leave a comment, or even a how-to or a drill or whatever, please leave a comment down below. I love to interact with you guys and make content that you guys want to see. So that's going to wrap it up for handguns. Like I said, about 12 that I actually got to get hands on. Some of the ones that I am really excited about, obviously the Staccato HD. I'm going to order one of those 4.5s. The Miller, I'm really pumped about. And then kind of a mix of the variety of things. I got the Kimber in hand now as well, so I'm looking forward to getting that to the range. And some of the entry-level stuff too, whether it be the Great Lakes, the Mac, the Springfield, you know, whatever it might be. I think there's good options to have as far as, like, you know, good, better, best. So definitely good to have different things, you know, as far as different people, budgets, needs, whatever. So I'm pretty excited about all the different handguns that I got to see. Do you have a favorite? Leave a comment down below. If you guys like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. If you like me, maybe want to train with me, host a class, check out my website. I travel all around the country teaching classes to organizations, ranges, groups, and I would love to come out to your range. If you wanted to host a class, I can help you out with that. I just need a good quality range, a little help with local marketing, and I would love to make it happen. So let me know, hit me up, and stay tuned for all SHOT Show coverage in the playlist. Like, share, subscribe. Have a great day.